Coming up on the Santana Moss Show, my Redskins failed to get another home opener win.
You ain't lying, but hey, Josh Gordon has a new home.
A tie? The second tie this year. Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers head off, and they tie the game.
No tie with Sacksonville against the Patriots. That's for damn sure.
Patrick Mahomes is on fire right now. Man, can you believe it?
I'm mad at Ryan Fitzpatrick's post-game look. My God. By the way, Tana, can you believe somebody quit during an actual game? I mean, who goes to work and just quits in the middle of – where you going, Tana? Tana, where you – Tana, wait a minute. How you going to walk out? The show is starting. I'm going to go get him, y'all. Show's starting now.
It's a Santana Moss Show. Number 89, hustle all the time. Travis on the right, hot mic on the left. Every single week, it's a lyrical fact.
Now I'm ready to go.
Now we're ready to go.
I was thinking to myself the other day, I was like, what if we don't talk and we just let the song keep going?
I like the song.
Would it be awkward or would it be hot?
I'm waiting to walk into a club and hear this song. It really has taken over me like that. Like, I literally whistle at the house.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm friends with DJ Easy Street, and he's a big fan of yours.
Oh, so we got to get Easy.
We need to get Easy to play this. I bet he would, too. He's crazy enough. By the way, I want to give a shout-outs to Tom, marketing director for Redskins alum, giving Tana and I these books.
Appreciate you, Tom.
I mean, a little Skins football story. I'm going to give this to my son, Colt, as soon as he's interested in books, because he's one. And right now, he just doesn't give a shit. And it's pretty disappointing. I try to read to him to sleep, and he throws the book. And what are you doing? You know, at some point, you got to care, son. But thank you, Tom. Shout-outs to you.
Appreciate the love, Tom.
So, Tana.
What's up, baby?
I just talked about a little Skins football story. Here's a real-life, big-time football story. Home opener, disappointing crowd, and we lose 21-9 to the Colts, who – I mean, listen, man, Johnny Unitas, God rest his soul, ain't walking through that door. Peyton Manning ain't walking through that door. Andrew Luck's good, but this Colts team did not impress me at all. I thought the Skins had a chance to win that game. What the hell happened, man?
I'm still searching. We on what, Tuesday, and Sunday has been long and gone, and I'm still searching. I've been on different outlets, man, talking about the game and just wondering how can you come out in your home opener so flat.
Flat.
The guys play flat. I mean, immediately, I've been saying it so much. When I left the stadium at halftime, I was talking to someone, and I said, it looks like they're real flat right now. I walked out the stadium, and the parking lot was flat, too, because I told everyone that was in the suites with me that the reason why I was no attendance because everyone was still trying to get into the stadium. And, man, I was just, I was wild to see that it wasn't that many fans for one, and then the players kind of took into what they saw and what they felt. And you never want to get caught up into the whole, well, the fans wasn't behind us and, we heard boos or we did this. You have to come play. You have to come play, and you have to be committed to what your job is, and you get all those fans to come back. You get those guys to come and cheer you on. And I do believe that a little of the weather had to be the reason why we didn't see as many fans as expected. But you have to come out there and give these fans something to miss. You have to, for all the guys that didn't show up, you're supposed to go out there and have a great home opener and make those fans say, man, I had a ticket and I should have been there. I should have just said, hey, screw the forecast, and I'm going to be in those seats and make sure I'm prepared for whatever, changes I have to make. But it just was a total letdown on both ends.
You know what pissed me off? DJ Swearinger showed up.
Yeah, swag.
Created 2 turnovers, 2 spoons, 2 turnovers, and we settled for field goals. And I remember thinking at the time, you get the turnover, he's all hype, he's doing the 2-spoon dance, right? Yeah. Momentum did shift. You actually heard the crowd cheer, right? And then we settled for field goals. And I remember thinking, this game's tight, but it's Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
You have got to figure out a way to score touchdowns. Did you feel the same way?
Honestly, one of the things you can point out from the start is the game plans. I know we gave on every outlet that I've been on, we went at Coach Gruden about, hey, the play calling. Yeah. I truly believe that we might be wrong. We might be wrong because Coach Gruden is going to put you in the situation, and it's any coach, regardless of who's the guy who's at the helm making these decisions, I believe that the coaches give you a chance to make plays. They put the first 15, they script the first 15 and say, let's go out there and get these in because we know what we're going to do. You guys went over this and walked through. You guys seen this night before the game. We know that these first 15 are going to work. At the end of the day, they didn't work.
No.
And it wasn't because coach didn't give them a great game plan. It was because the player didn't beat the guy in front of him. And the reason why I say this is because I went back and watched film. I sat in yesterday. I went in, and me and Porters have a little show we do, 30 minutes segment. And after leaving that show with Porters, stopped in and saw Cooley. Cooley does what he does best, go over film. And he's been, to me, one of the guys that, I respect when it comes to breaking something down. Since we left this game, he breaks it down. And he showed me 3 plays. After him showing me those 3 plays, I wanted more. I said, I can't just sit here and be left with that notion in my head as what happened after those plays.
Right.
And I literally saw guys just getting beat. So when it comes to the scheme of things, you can't blame that on coach. I've been saying this for years. We always get caught up in the coaches, who we have at coach. This coach he's not giving us that much, or he's not, emotional enough, or he doesn't have the spirit that someone wants. No, it's about the players. At the end of the day, we pay the players the money, so therefore they have to go out there and produce, regardless of what's drawn up. And to me, I've always been a guy that say, yeah, you might not have things schemed for that one guy or that 2 guys that you want to get off, or the guy that we might want to see get off or shine, but the scheme is the scheme. You work through this the whole entire week. How you come up and lay a goose egg against these guys and don't get in the end zone at all and leave it up to your kicking. So I just feel like, man, at the end of the day, the players have to take a look at themselves, man. And like I love Swearinger because he's a guy like myself. He keep it real. At times too real. He keep it real so much to where I know there's a couple of guys in the locker room might not feel him at times. I feel you, brother. And it's only right because you come to play. You come to play. You've been a guy that bounced around from a few teams. And I remember asking you, man, what makes you feel like this is home? And it shows. He loves what the crowd gives him. He loves what this area gives him. The energy is always explored out there on the field. And that's one of the things I like about him. So the guys got to just look at themselves in the mirror, man. And you got to put everything to the side and say, hey, we have to go out there and produce what's given and make sure that we're doing our job so we can sit here and rest assured that, we don't have any questions and we have all the answers but no questions at the end of games like that.
You know what? Shout outs to 2 Spoons, too. He's family to the program. During the bye week, maybe we can get him back on here
we need to,
and talk about the season. All right, so look, here we go, Tana. Ron. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers up next, coming into FedEx. Are you nervous?
Brother. Well, I love that Aaron's on my fantasy.
He is.
He's on my fantasy squad. We didn't do so well this second week. I got killed. I don't think I even cracked 100. Did I get last though?
You didn't get last. You got your ass beat, but you didn't get last.
He wanted to put that in there because he was dead last in week 1.
And I got busy this week, baby. So this is the fantasy dance, and I ain't talking about sports. I'm talking about fantasies.
I didn't check to see where I landed at on the sheet, but I knew I got whooped, so I didn't even care. But I was hoping just not let me have to be the one that looking at everybody on the top.
You're good.
But honestly, Aaron Rodgers come in. Last week we talked about Aaron. Should he play? Right. Knowing that he means so much to the Packers. He is the Packers. With that, I knew it was a sprained knee or a sprained MCL, one or the other. They didn't clarify which one it was. They said sprained knee. He wore the brace. He went out there. He looked like Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if I was more surprised of the outcome of them being a tie game or to see Kirk Cousins go blow for blow with him. I was really shocked to see, the guy that we got rid of, the guy that we didn't have no faith in, go out there and go blow for blow with him. But knowing that Aaron coming into FedEx, I would have hated to see these. I don't say I would have hated. I hate to see that they had a tie last week because now these guys want blood.
Yeah.
These guys want blood.
Yep.
And we know how the last time they came into FedEx, that was a playoff game, I believe.
Yep.
And they kicked our butts, when we was riding high. The one thing that I can point out about what I've been seeing thus far in this season when it comes to Green Bay as a total, the defense has been getting up a lot of points. So hopefully we can get on, we can catch on rhythm and find a rhythm in our run and pass game, and Alex can open some things up. I see that we have the potential. The potential is out there. But when you have a guy like Aaron coming in, our defense should be chopping at the bits, knowing that, one, he's a little hobbled. He might be a little healthier this week, but that arm ain't hobbled, and he's been throwing it around to everybody. Everybody gets the ball with Aaron Rodgers. Everybody get the chance to score. So hopefully Two Spoons get him another one. I want to see my man Dunbar get him another pick too, man. I think those two guys are going to be a great duo. Can't forget our guy out there, Josh Norman. I think he's one of those guys that they've been targeting a little bit more than what I expected. More than I expected, but it's probably because of the scheme of things. And I just hope to see him use what his best attributes. Just jam a guy, man. You got those long arms. Just don't care. Slap somebody in their face one time and see how they react. And that's, normally he might bring a flag, so I don't want to do that.
Slap a bitch. Sometimes you got to do it.
Sometimes you got to slap him. You're wrong for being out here lined up on me. But no, I really want to see what these guys do when it comes to Aaron being out there on the opposing side.
Look, 8 to the 9 was one of the best to do it at the wide receiver position. Redskins bring in 2 this week in Floyd and Perryman. Do you think they'll help, not just this week, but beyond?
Well, honestly, I've been a fan of Floyd. I don't know where he fell off at and what started the whole downward thing that he's been going. He's been experiencing these last couple of years. I thought he was going to be a star in Arizona. It was Arizona, right? I truly believe he has the potential. Not sure if just bouncing around is going to be the thing that he does, for the rest of his NFL career. I hope that he can stick here. We've one of those teams that, man, we're desperate for something. We're desperate for a couple of stars, for a couple of wins, for a winning season, period. We're desperate. We're one of those teams that so much tradition from the past, man, of the championship eras and just the guys that you still see around the building. The Gary Clarks, you name it, all the guys that show up. I mean, I like Gary far as the receivers. I've seen, you name it. You see Theismann walking around.
Hell, Doug works there.
You got Doug. I'm finna say you got Doug work there. You see Green all the time. Yep. Legends, man. Yep. And we can't seem to, catch that cab yet. And I call it catch that cab because me and a couple of my friends, when we bowling, if somebody bowled a strike, we be like, taxi. I want that same thing. You know what I'm saying? We haven't caught that cab yet. To even follow these guys, to be in the same, talks of what these guys just played, in those years. And the fans are gasping, for air, just hoping that we can really be that team again. And so when it comes to seeing guys that we bringing in like this, knowing that we feel like we had it all, thought out when it came to picking our receivers, the linemen that we didn't pick up this year, different things like that, it makes you scratch your head now that we going down that road, So I'm hoping that Floyd can be a great attribute. I'm hoping that Perryman couldn't be, erase what he did in Baltimore and say, hey, I found a home somewhere where I can really come out here and just play my talents. I'm always thinking for the best and hoping for the best for guys that get a second chance, third, fourth, fifth, you name it. But I know we need guys. We need guys that's going to come up here and be stand-up guys and be great players. So whoever they bringing in, I hope they can be somebody that stick and help us try to get to where we're trying to go. Okay,
let's stick with wide receivers for a second. Josh Gordon goes from the Browns to the New England Patriots, basically, Tana, for a bag of Lay's, a Code Red Mountain Dew, some hour later. I mean, they got him for nothing. Do you think Josh Gordon will stay on the straight and narrow and be Randy Moss 2.0 for Tom Brady?
What everybody the first thing everyone thinks of when they hear Josh Gordon going to New England is Randy Moss all over again.
It's similar.
It's similar. The only thing that has to happen, Josh Gordon has to go out there and be on the straight and narrow. Yeah. One of the things about Belichick, he has a certain set of rules that's different from everybody else, and he's going to have to abide by those rules. Do I believe in Josh Gordon? Yes. I believe in his game. I think he's, hands down, if Megatron, who left this game, was Megatron, he's Optimus Prime. That's how I look at the game. Those guys was unbelievable at what they can do in one-on-one matchups, in double-covered matchups. Like, Josh Gordon's that kind of guy. I think highly of his abilities, but he has to find himself wherever it is, like whatever he's going through, whether it's the rehab he's been seeking year in and year out, or some of the things that he dealt with early in his career when he missed a couple of years because of drugs or whatever it was. I don't know quietly. And I sometimes I don't like to get to talking about people mishaps because you never know the whole story.
Well, he's trying to get help,
yeah,
and that's the thing. He's doing the necessary steps. He does have a problem. That's obvious by his track record, but he's trying to work on it. The funny thing to me, Tana, is guys go to New England and all that stuff disappears. It's just like all of a sudden he'll go there, he'll be clean, he'll be sober, and he'll be focused, and his true God-given ability will be able to show there.
And I'm hoping so because you don't get a chance to play with a legend
right
at the quarterback position like he has right now. The opportunity is something that a lot of us wish we had a chance to experience. I know me, myself, and I throw no shade at the guys that I play with because I appreciate them for all the things I've accomplished because I couldn't do it without them. But just to see some of the things that Brady, does week in and week out, the guys that he makes better, oh, man, he has, to me, the best opportunity right now in a lifetime. So please don't miss out on being something more than what we know of you right now.
No doubt about it. All right, this is what we're going to do, Tana. Let's go rapid fire around the NFL. Now, you already talked about the monstrosity of the Packers and the Vikings game, but I want to ask you about a specific play that changed that game. Clay Matthews hit in the fourth quarter, roughing the passer. Looked like a normal play to me, a routine play on Cousins. The NFL has doubled down on this and said, hey, the call was right, back off. Your thoughts?
Let's be honest. And I want to be honest because I'm a guy, I'm a receiver, I'm an offensive guy. And I do believe that anytime I see a flag thrown against the opposite side, the defense, that I'm all for it. Whether it's, face guarding, holding. Normally, I'm with that call. When I watched this game, to me, it was a gift. Kirk Cousins said it after the game. It was a generous call, and I believe it was a generous call. Clay Matthews did everything that you can ask for when it comes to, how to form tackle a guy, how to not land on him. He landed on the side. And at the end of the day, it was a pick made out of that play. And to me, that would have been the deciding factor of the game. And the refs had it in their hands to say, no, it wasn't. You know what? That was a penalty. And we talked earlier in, this year on this show about, the helmet calls. It's going to be impossible for you to – I've seen more of those calls not called than the calls that I've been seeing lately of roughing the passer. To me, I look at it like this. I know I'm making fun. I'm going to be a little hilarious a little bit now, but we need to go to Snatch rag with the quarterbacks. Go find a belt with the flags hanging off it.
Snatch rag.
Make sure we find somebody, playing flag football somewhere and put this up. We need to make sure if we want to guard our quarterbacks and make sure that they're the safest guys on the field, put flags on them. Put snatch racks on them where we can just make sure that now when we snatch that flag, you're down. You can't throw the ball. Or if you throw it, I got your flag. I'm holding it up. Because now you can't sack a quarterback. These guys don't know how to attack a quarterback. I saw a couple of weeks ago, week one, I think it was Aaron Donald. He went at the guy's legs. He got a flag. Yeah, you can't do that because Brady tore his knee because of that. Then now I saw, I've been seeing week in and week out, guys been landing on quarterbacks. You can't do that. Aaron Rodgers hurt his collarbone last year doing that. They're making these rules because of the quarterback. I don't blame you because as a receiver, I want my quarterback healthy too so I can get all the attempts in the world. But let's be honest. Are we saving the game or are we making this game not a game? You know what I'm saying? So you're paying all these defensive ends, all these defensive linemen, all the money in the world to do what they do best, and that's sack the quarterback, put pressure on the quarterback, and then you don't want these guys to hit him. What's left? Tell me.
My whole life,
I want to hear it.
I've heard flag football. Tana country ass coming here talking about some damn snatch rag.
Hey, where I'm from, man, we call it snatch rag.
Hey, Tana, the Jaguars beat the hell out of the Patriots. We talked about Josh Gordon going there now for the Pats. I mean, are the Patriots mere mortals, or was this just a bad week?
Well, we have so much time to talk about the defense. We can talk about the Jacksonville defense, but let's talk about Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
29 for 45, 377 yards, 4 TDs.
Lord.
1 pick. That's Blake we talking about now.
Yeah.
This is the guy who they was shopping around last year trying to find someone else to come in there and be his replacement. And not alone that the defense is going out and being the defense that I thought they was. I put them in my fantasy. So, yes, one time from Jacksonville defense. I don't know what they call themselves. I'm going to call you the Jack Boys.
I think they Sacksonville.
They Sacksonville, but they the Jack Boys with me. I'm a Florida boy, so
Jack Boys, you better watch out for the Jack Boys.
Hey,
they jump out on you.
Them Florida boys know what I'm talking about when I say Jack Boys. But straight up and down, though, man, the defense has been playing lights out.
Yep.
You have a guy out there that's been calling every receiver, tight end, you name it, their mama,
Sure
you name
is.
it, their auntie, and call them out.
Call
and
them
then
out.
go out there and back it up. And I laughed about it because I said, as a cornerback in this league, you're only as good as your front seven. You can't cover no one in this league one-on-one. I don't care who you are. Yeah, Revis done it for a long time. And to me, Revis, besides Prime, is one of the better, the best at covering somebody, locking somebody up, man to man. Even Champ Bailey, he had his years when he did it too. But it's not too many guys can do it. So when I hear Ramsey, making a fool out of some of these guys he's facing, and then to see these guys don't do anything, Ramsey Tipio had to pay those guys up from taking them to lunch, taking them to dinner, buy them steaks, all of them big guys, buy them steaks, you name it, man. But that front seven is ferocious, and they out there playing, lights out and allowing those secondary guys to go out there and have an easy day. Have an easy day like they've been having.
You're right about that. Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs quarterback, 6 touchdowns. Good Lord. Tana, how good is this kid?
Mahomes is, to me, I chimed in about this a couple of days ago. And Andy Reid doesn't get enough credit for what he does to quarterbacks.
Yep.
How special he is as a coach to a lot of these quarterbacks. And I'm going to go back to his Philadelphia days. He had Donovan McNabb. Donovan McNabb threw for, you name it, a whole lot of yards. And it seemed like every receiver that came through those doors, whether it was T.O., whether it was D-Jax, you name it, it was a lot more than that. That he made them better. Andy Reid found ways to implement these guys into his offense to find ways to make them wide open. And at the end of the day, when you're on this level, all you can do is do your job, catch the ball and put up points. Andy brought in a Michael Vick after everyone didn't want nothing, no parts of him. After the whole allegations with the thing he went through with the dogs and everything. He said, hey, I'm going to give him a second chance. And not only am I going to give him a second chance, I'm going to make him better. Michael Vick played he wasn't the Michael Vick from the Falcons and the VTech days of running the ball, finding ways to do things with his legs, but Andy Reid made him a better passer.
He's a pocket guy, yeah.
A pocket
crazy.
guy. I mean, he was dropping bombs on us. I remember that game when they played in FedEx and Landry and D-Jax went to, mouthing off of each other, and next thing you know, it was bombs over that Baghdad, and I'm seeing D-Jax walking backwards in the end zone, and I'm like, that's Andy Reid. You got to give credit to Andy Reid and how he developing these guys around him. And now you see Alex walk out the door. He's now a Redskin, and Mahomes. Everyone like, what did they see in this kid? He has a big arm. That's all about what I see. He might be a guy that get out here and get happy and think he can throw into any spot and then find himself being one of those guys that don't make it in this league. No, not at all. He's only won all 3 starts. And he's only been putting up lights out numbers, 582 yards thus far this season with 10 TDs.
Oh, that's Madden numbers,
10 TDs.
Bro.
So I don't know what Andy Reid has when it comes to what he does. I've been loving his schemes on the offensive side, but just what he does for these quarterbacks, man, it's something that needs to be talked about more. I don't think Andy Reid gets enough credit for the things that he does over there, and especially what he's been doing thus far with Kansas City. But, yes, Mahomes has been playing lights out, but give a lot of that credit to Andy Reid.
You brought up DeSean Jackson, which brings me to my final question for you, my man. Ryan Fitzpatrick, quarterback of the Bucs, put on DeSean Jackson's outfit for his post-game press conference out there looking like Conor McGregor. What did you think of it?
Yoga Flyer, Yoga Flame. He's on fire. That boy is hot. You
He had the taco meat out.
Hey, the only thing he said he had on him was that taco meat. That was his. and he approved that message. Hey, 417 yards the first week.
He's balling,
4
bro.
TDs.
He's balling.
402 yards the second week.
Balling.
4 TDs. I think to me, and this is just being a receiver and kind of knowing guys a little bit. The best thing that's happened to Tampa Bay this year on the offensive side, not only has Fitz been on fire, but D-Jack is being D-Jack.
No doubt.
If you have that's one of the reasons why we didn't want DeSean Jackson leaving the Redskins, because regardless of what you have out there, the defense has to be, they have to respect who you have. And last year, I watched them play, and to be honest with you, when DeSean made that decision to go to Tampa, I didn't believe it was the best decision because of Jameis being his quarterback. I do believe Jameis has a big IQ, has a big arm, but that don't make you a great quarterback. I don't have doubts, but when you haven't really won much, then I only can respect what I know of you. You know what I mean? So I just felt that he needed to go somewhere where he can really add on to what he's done this far in his career. Now, fast forward to this season, Fitzpatrick gets the nod because Jameis Winston has put himself in a situation where he had to miss 4 or 6 games. It's going to be hard to allow Jameis to come back and get this job if Fitz stay on this path. I truly believe that Fitz, being a veteran quarterback, you know how I like veteran quarterbacks, he knows how to get the job done. Besides knowing how to get the job done, you have D-Jax being D-Jax. D-Jax is going to blow the top off of any coverage. Yep. Whether it's cover 2, whether it's 2 under, whether it's man, it doesn't matter. And guess what? If he's not blowing the top off and getting the ball, everybody else is open. And you've been seeing week in and week out, he's not the only one out there putting on the show. All the receivers are put on the show. So I think, man, you know, Fitz have to give a lot of credit to D-Jax being himself. You know, actually, because I saw it last year. Last year he was open a lot, but Jameis couldn't hit him on stride. So sometimes having a big arm is not the best thing to have. You know, I play with a lot of those guys with big arms. If you can't hit me in stride, then what use is that? What good is that big arm? What use is that going to do for me and this team that we can't connect? Because that's a play miss right there. And having a Fitzpatrick that's been on point, been accurate as all outdoors right now, thus far in this season. Don't let me get besides myself because we known Fitzpatrick to have those up and down years. I've known of him having, when he's up, he's up. And I've seen him in I've seen him in Buffalo. Yep. Seen him in Buffalo. I've seen him with the Jets. Yep. You know, he has those years where it's his year. This is his year. I don't think you're going to be able to put the flame out. And as long as D-Jax doing his thing, and as long as D-Jax is a threat, if he's on the field, he's a threat every week. And guess what? I'm putting him up in my fantasy. I had him on my fantasy. Woo! He was on my bench.
It's official.
He was on my bench because I just didn't know what I was going to get from Tampa. I didn't know how they was going to play him this year, how they was going to feed him. I didn't think they fed him enough last year. Hey, D-Jax, I'm putting you up, buddy. keep doing your thing.
Except for when Tanner plays me, then don't do anything. Hey, Tanner, I want to do taking L's. We have the exact same taking L's this week, but you actually played in the NFL, so I'm just going to give you the floor on this one.
Look here, man. When taking L's has been taken too far, I think Vontae Davis has been watching the show because he said, man, guess what? I'm going to go out. I'm going to be all time on this list. I'm going to take this L, and I'm going to ride off into the sunset, and it's going to be in my career.
He's the GOAT?
The last thing you speak of me is going to be the only guy in the NFL history that has walked off the field, not only walked off the field and quit on his players, but has retired in the middle of a game. Vontae Davis, man.
That brother had an Uber outside waiting.
That's the biggest L of all L's. First of all, let me get into this a little bit. Let me get further into this. I watched Primetime show, Deion, and I love that they added Shannon because, boy, it's nothing like hearing Shannon remarks. You cannot go off, man. Look, regardless of who you were as a player in this league, that's not the way to go out. Right. That's not the way to go out, brother. And besides going out, thinking about yourself, you literally thought about yourself and thought that was the right decision, but you left all these guys that you just prepared with, man, for the last, 2-3 months in the off season, and now these, 2 months of training camp or a month and a half of training camp, and to get this far into the season and say, I just ain't got it. See, the reason why I have a bone to pick with that, and trust me, never had no beef with Vontae and his brother. I love them both, you know. They've always been good guys when I saw them. Always had so much, love for me and my brothers, and just knowing that, we share the same thing. We're two guys that have brothers. We actually got a chance to live out our dreams in this league and have our brother follow our path. So don't get me wrong, but I want to speak on it because I just feel like, man, I've been in situations in games where it was guys that didn't finish the game, and I had to sit out there and finish the game because, hey, you the next man up, or you the only guy up. I would not let these guys down. And that's the thing. That's the bone I have. That's the bone I have to pick with them because, hey, if you don't have it in you, brother, I understand. Finish this game. And guess what? When you finish, go in that locker room, tell those guys, man, I gave them my all, man, and it's a wrap for me. You know, I don't want to cheat the team. Already I'm getting paid because you done played through week 1, so they're going to pay you for the rest of the season. And now they might not because you done, did something that unheard of. They're going to have to go after that money. But I cannot let these guys down, regardless of who the other guys are. Regardless of you letting yourself down week in and week out, I can't let you down. I'm going to go out here and be all I can be. If it's the best of me or not, I can't do that. And so when I saw that, I laughed about it. I jokingly laughed to a couple of friends when we talked about it. But when I really thought about it, I'm like, man, you can't do that. You can't put that on tape, and you can't leave your legacy as being that guy that walked out on his team in the middle of a game and retired. All time, taking L's. All time.
The GOAT.
The GOAT before we even named any GOATs. You hear me? Give me a GOAT card. We're gonna ask for Rob and Oscar to put one of them things.
Put Vontae's face.
Go to ball GOAT.
It's
baby.
like a plaque.
Look here, brother.
All time, taking
you deserve
L's.
it, man. Hey, I hate for you to even be on this list, man, but you all time right now.
Yeah, he
brother.
earned that, man.
All time.
Hey, well, we earned this, brother. Santana Moss Show podcast. It's a Riz app. Go get it wherever you get great podcasts. Or the bad ones, too, but we're a cut above, baby. Yeah!
It's a Santana Moss Show. Number 89, hustle all the time. Travis on the right, hot mic on the left. Every single